So one of the most important things about cooking is, for us, is this masala boxes. These are like palette of colors. Imagine that. Like this, if you're an artist and you had a palette of colors, these are your palette of colors. So you add things to the dishes as you wish. So there's no one rule about Indian cooking. It's a little bit like, it's a democracy. You can do whatever you want. And a little bit of this and a little bit of that is what your interpretation is. You know, my mother-in-law is a brilliant cook, but she cooks the hell out of everything. You never know whether you're eating an eggplant, a chicken, or a potato. My mother, on the other hand, is a brilliant cook, and she uses 2 or 3 spices, and that's the style. So there's no one way to do it. And that's the most beautiful part about our cooking, is that of any cooking, whether it's Italian, whether it's French, you don't need to be that exact. It should be, this is what I feel like doing. I'm not getting along with him today, I'm going to add a little extra chili to it. And that's the way it's supposed to be cooked. And that's the most beautiful part about our cooking. So this is like a masala dabba or a masala box. This is your palette of colors, and your canvas is your pot right there. And you can create the style of, the notes are the same. Imagine if you're a musician. Who's a musician here? Anybody plays note? Anybody plays a guitar or something? No? If anybody's music, the notes are the same. But the music that you create is your own style of it. And that's cooking. That's the beautiful part about cooking. You know, when you press enter in a computer, it's always the same command, right? When you press enter, it's always the same thing. Nothing will change. But your cooking will change. Even though you have the exact recipe, it'll change according to how you felt that day, how long you sauteed your onions for. So I'm going to make a simple masala just now. Masala is a blend of onions, ginger, garlic, and build on some spices. In the meantime, we've got some delicious chickpeas and chicken curry with rice that I'm going to cook, that we've already cooked for you. So we should start serving a little bit of that. And I'm going to cook a little bit of the masala. I used to be able to get through something like this a long time ago. So obviously a heavy-duty hot pan, that's really, really important. A little bit of oil. We're going a little bit healthier now, so normally I would traditionally use ghee, which is clarified butter. But I'm going to use a little bit of oil. And onions, chopped onions. One of the things that we did at Vij's, which was a little bit different, was rather than cutting corners and saying how fast can I cook, we actually added corners. We added corners, which meant I chopped my onions by hand. We chopped the tomatoes, the garlic, the ginger. What that does is it gives that flavor of the dishes fresher. And most of the produce that we had came from within our region, from Surrey, from Fraser Valley. We in Canada are so blessed with the produce that we have here. You know why? Because we have a region that produces beautiful vegetables in Fraser Valley. We have an ocean that gives us bounty of the ocean, but sustainable bounty of the ocean. And we have Okanagan that produces delicious wines that goes with our foods. 3 most important things that make a culinary destination. We have it. You look at any city in the world, San Francisco, whether you go to Spain or Portugal, those are the 3 most important things in any form of cooking. So we have that. So I'm going to saute some onions right here. Normally when I cook at home, I usually have my onions going, I'll open up a bottle of wine, then I'll put the tomatoes and the ginger and the garlic and the spices, and the bottle's gone. So by the time the dinner is served, the second bottle of wine's opened up. I do enjoy cooking that way. And that's the style. That's my relaxation. Some people love to read. Some people love to, play music or listen to music. I love to cook. And I'm telling you, cooking together with the kids is honestly a greatest feeling because they get to taste it. And when you cook food from different parts of the world, it broadens people's horizons. It builds cultures. It brings you closer to another community, to another culture. It breaks down the barriers. When you travel then, you never say, oh, I don't want this kind of food. Oh, I don't like this kind of food. It broadens your horizons. It becomes Canada. If you look at all of us where we are, we become multicultural that way. So, the onions. A little bit of ginger chopped. The other thing is, do not use exact measurements. Just do what you feel like doing. A little bit of garlic. Can you smell that? What a great smell this is. Like imagine fresh food smelling like this, onions, ginger, garlic. It reminds me of being in India, you know? Those smells are just wafting out of your kitchens. And I think that's so beautiful. I think that's so great. Anyway, so I've done the onions, ginger, garlic. It's okay if it sticks to the bottom. Do you know why? Because I'm going to deglaze it with a little bit of tomatoes. The moisture from the tomatoes will remove that burning brownness from the onions, goes back into the curry. Everybody can see that? See how the onions were nice and brown first, and now the tomatoes have kind of deglazed the pan a little bit. The French are a little bit snooty. They love to use a little bit of whipping cream or a little bit of stock to deglaze the pans. Indians are a little bit like in your face, you know. Here's some tomatoes, here's some spices, just enjoy it. So, a little bit of cinnamon stick. So there's a broken one right there. I'm going to add some mustard seeds to it. A little bit of turmeric. A little bit of coriander. And some cumin seeds. Now, I want to mention something. One of the beautiful things about our cooking is that all our spices have some form of medicinal value to them. There's a science in India called Ayurveda, which means eating through, healthy eating through the spices. And that is an ancient art that we have always enjoyed. And so if you have some anxiety or some form of it, there are actually ways that tells you what you should eat and what you should not eat. Am I correct, ma'am? Am I? So, now this will constitute a masala. Everybody can see that? This is a masala. You can actually take this masala, put it in a little container and keep it in the fridge for a long time, and this becomes like a little bit like your tomato sauce. And then you can add your vegetables to it, your chickpeas, whatever you feel like doing. So you don't need to make a masala every day. You can make it once, twice a week, keep it in the fridge, and then reuse it. I find a lot of the younger Indo-Canadian kids, you know, their moms make them a little sabji or a stew and gives it to them and says, you know, son or daughter, when you come back from work, enjoy these curries. That's exactly what we've tried to do here. Please. That's exactly what I've tried to do here. It's almost like home-cooked meal. We made the curry, we put it in a little bag, and you can enjoy it that way. There's no preservatives, there's no pasteurization that's happened, and you literally open it up and you serve it. And the idea is that if you're really busy and you don't feel like once a week or twice a week, you just don't feel like cooking, you can enjoy these. But I still encourage everybody, cook at least 4 to 5 times a week yourself. It's just the best feeling ever. Thank you very much. Pleasure. Let's enjoy.